As you all know, I have a little bit of an obsession with Tex-Mex. So this is what this whole dish is about. It's taking that Tex-Mex flavoring, but incorporating it to something that I already know how to do, which is my mum's shaking beef. So I've got some cumin, some smoked paprika, onion powder, a little bit of coriander, and some minced garlic. Straight into a bowl. But here's the fun part. We've got a little bit of tequila here, which is my favorite. So that goes in as well. A little bit of lime juice. So with the shaking beef, it's called a shaking beef because we never let the beef kind of stew in the pan. It's constantly moving, so it just gets touched by that heat. So to do that, you're gonna need to chop up your beef into little cubes, just so it cooks really, really fast in about a minute or so. Yeah. All right, so we're just gonna slice this into little cubes. I'm just gonna get rid of this little bit of fat here first. So very, very simple. It's about a 2 centimeter dice. Now, I'm using a Scotch fillet today, but traditionally we would do this with a fattier second cut, but I find I really like the flavor and the texture of the Scotch fillet. Sometimes I use porterhouse as well, but have a play around, kind of choose the meat, choose your own adventure. So that's the beef all diced up, as you can see, little cubes. That goes straight into the bowl. We're gonna add a little bit of olive oil. Yum. Give it a quick toss. And then we just leave this to marinate for half an hour. So I'm gonna set that aside. While that's marinating, I'm gonna get started on my mango salsa. So I've got some chopped mango here. Feel free to use frozen mango, there's no problems with that, as long as you make sure that you thaw it out beforehand. An avocado. Every Tex-Mex recipe has an avocado. So we're gonna use about half of this guy, give it a twist, and then peel it. And then we're gonna get chopping. So you want it to be about the same size as your mango. Quick chop, really rough. Basically what you want is each mouthful to have a little bit of avocado, a little bit of mango, a little bit of coriander, and a little bit of that cucumber. Straight into the bowl, that goes. Next, cucumber. So I just need about probably half of this guy. Don't worry too much about de-seeding him, just because the ingredients are quite dry. They're not full of moisture, so having a little bit of moisture from the cucumber is a good thing. So the salsa is really, really refreshing. It's gonna really balance out the flavors in that beef as well, just because of the tequila that's in it. So this is just a little bit more zingy. All right, quick chop, same size as the mango and the avocado. Delicious. In goes your red onion, which I've actually finely chopped beforehand. We've got a lime here. So this is where the acidity comes from. Obviously, there's a little bit of acidity in your mango, but depending on how ripe it is, it could be quite sweet. So the lime just really balances it out. Then we're gonna have half of the juice of this guy in as well. Next, we've got a long red chili. Put as much or as little as you want in it. I love chili, so I'm probably gonna do about half. Keeping the seeds all in. You can choose to take the seeds out if you want. If you want it to be a little bit hotter, feel free to use bird's eye, but I think this is gonna be enough spice for me. Just finely chop it. Oh, I love the smell of chili. That goes straight into your little bowl. Next up, coriander. So you want probably about a 1/4 cup of the coriander. You don't want too much of the stem in this, but if you do get it in, it doesn't really matter. This is where kind of all of that beautiful flavor comes from. So a rough chop of this guy. That's looking like heaven. That's probably enough. And then into the bowl, that goes too. All right, that's looking so vibrant, so colorful now, but I just need a little pinch of salt and I think I can give it a quick mix. As you can see, the salsa here, it's just full of different colors. You get the red from the chili, you get the yellow of the mango, and then that beautiful purple of the red onion. That's looking all good now. I'm just gonna set that aside and start cooking that beef. So we don't want to cook this beef for too long, so I've got a really, really hot pan on. I'm just gonna drop these cubes straight in. Just gonna hear that little sizzle. Delicious, amazing, awesome. You notice that I didn't add any more oil to it, just because the oil was already in the marinade, so it's pretty much good to go. So what you want to do is just keep this beef constantly moving. If we had a wok, I would usually just toss it, but it's a non-stick pan, so it's going to be a little bit more slippery, so I'm just going to use my tongs and give that a quick mix. All right, that's looking beautiful. I'm just going to turn the heat off and set this guy aside while I get started on the little salad that goes underneath. But first, quick. So good. So I'm getting a little bit of those beautiful spices that are coming through. I get a little bit of the hit of tequila as well. The taste is there. Obviously the alcohol is probably cooked off now. The beef is so tender and so juicy. And then you get that little bit of lime that's just the acidity that the dish needs. All right, so serving platter. We've got a tomato. I'm just gonna slice this really, really thin. We probably will just only use half. That's looking beautiful. Just getting rid of the little stem. We've got some watercress here. I'm just gonna give it a quick rip. Shaking beef is always served on watercress. I love it. The pepperiness of the watercress really, really complements the dish. So just a quick tear, scatter that around the dish. On goes the tomatoes. Just randomly, just place them around. We've got the beautiful beef that's now gonna go over the top. Finished with that hit of that beautiful mango salsa. Just let's do a little amount of it just here on the side. Smells like absolute heaven. So fresh, so easy. Perfect little healthy lunch as well. And guys, that there is my Mexican shaking beef. So that's the look at that.